Looking for custom apparel that stands out? Welcome to the Stitching Heifers, Bushnell's premier embroidery and custom apparel shop. From custom hats, t-shirts and jackets to unique gifts and business branding, we specialize in high quality, personalized apparel that reflects your style and vision. Step into our exclusive hat bar and design your one-of-a-kind custom hat, perfect for personal flair or promoting your brand. At the Stitching Heifers, we're committed to bringing your ideas to life with exceptional service and attention to detail. Whether it's for you, your business, or a thoughtful gift, we're your trusted partner for all things custom in the heart of Sumter County. Stop by today or visit us online to get started. The Stitching Heifers, custom style, local heart. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Goblay Show. I'm your host, Billy Goble, and today we have a special guest, like always. Our guest is a two-time national champion in NCAA women's softball at the University of Florida. And not only that, she's got a couple other goodies that we'll talk about later. But so without further ado, my guest today is Miss Aubree Munro. Aubree, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. We've been trying to get it on the calendar for a while, so I'm glad to be here.
I know. It's been a process.
Yes.
But if I've learned anything in my life, it's, things happen and you have to wait and, it always works out. So
yep.
I'm glad we could set some time today and sit down and talk about you and highlight your career and your life. And so that people that don't know you can, get a little bit, get a little backstage story about you, a little east side, they say, or whatever, like entertainment, little behind the scenes thing, and we can figure out together. So awesome. I appreciate you again. And we always start with where you're from. So a lot of people, if they don't know you at all, we're going to start all the way back, and I hate to go way back, but not
it's
too
all
far.
Good. Let's do it.
So where are you from originally?
I'm originally from California. I grew up in Orange County, so Southern California. I was born and raised there till high school when I left for school. But yeah, now everyone assumes I'm from Florida, and when they find that out, they're like, "Whoa, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, I came all the way across the country to go play softball at Florida."
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I'm like, you got to cut. I mean, like, there's hardly any decent colleges in California that you could have played for. But not that I'm upset that you came to Florida, because I mean we loved having you. But
Thank you.
What made you come all the way across America? Literally.
Yeah. It was a shock to me in high school even. I'm very much like a comfort zone person, especially back then. I have definitely grown in that. But when I was a kid, I didn't like trying anything new. I didn't want to go far away. I thought maybe I could go somewhere in Arizona. I could do like a drive home for a weekend or something. But my older sister played volleyball at an NAIA school in South Carolina. She's 3 years older than me. And so she came home after her freshman year, probably her first fall, and was like, "Oh my gosh, Aubree, it's like a whole other world out there. Like, and you can always come home. It's just college." And so that made me like more willing, more curious, more open-minded, I think, to maybe going farther. And then I got on a great travel ball team my sophomore year of high school, where big schools were coming to recruit, and so many of them were out of state. Like, I was never on UCLA's radar. They were looking at other catchers. And so that's like the big one in California. And so they weren't interested in me. And we're playing in front of Tennessee, Florida, Alabama, like all these schools are constantly around our games. And so started just like seeing them out at fields, like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to go there. I genuinely had no clue I would end up in Florida. I did not think I would be good enough until I like was just going on some visits, and they had come out and they'd seen me play a couple times, and they were looking for a catcher for my year, which is half the battle in recruiting is, do they even need your position or your tools in that year? and they were looking for a catcher my year, and I was a sophomore. This is before all the recruiting rules changed. Um, and so I went on a trip on my unofficial, I went to Alabama first actually, and I loved it.
Really?
I
Oh.
was this close to going to
Ah,
Alabama.
Aubrey, I'm so
Um,
glad you didn't.
I know people are always shocked to hear that. Especially considering we played them in 2014 for our first natty. And I'm like, could have been on the other side of that one. But yeah, I went on my visit to Alabama first and I loved it. It was very eye-opening to me of just like the Southeast in general. Because I was a California girl like through and through. And
Yeah.
then I went on my visit to Florida and loved it. Really liked the coaches, really liked the girls. It was a little more my speed. It's like some people might not like to hear this, but it was enough like California, like sunny, like palm trees, looks wise, enough like California that I didn't feel like a total fish out of water. And then half the team was from California at that time because Coach Walton recruited heavily from California. And so I could just like see myself there a little bit. But the deciding factor really was Coach Walton for me. So, I this is probably one of my better stories when it comes that people are always excited to hear.
Yeah.
I came back from my visit and Coach Walton had offered me a scholarship and I was like, I go home like, what in the world? I'm 16. Like, how do I decide this? And I'm not, especially back then, I was not very decisive. So I was like, how do I make this decision for essentially the next 6 years of my life? And I was watching I think it was a recap game, and it was Alabama playing Florida. So I'm like, sweet, let's watch. These are the two schools. And something happened. There was a play at the plate, and Coach Walton went absolutely berserk on the umpire. It's the one where he's pounding on the plate. Um, and I remember watching and be like, I want to play for that guy, which some people would be like, you're crazy. That's what made you want to. And I was like, what I loved about it was how much he fought for his team. And I to this day, I don't know why that stuck out to me so much, why that was such a defining thing, but that was the thing that tipped the scale. And I was like, I want to go to Florida. I called him the next day, and said I wanted to be a Gator. And so then the rest is kind of history, but that was the thing that tipped the scale for me.
I think it's cool how something that small can always make and
Hmm.
alter someone's decision. A lot of guys that want to play football elsewhere, they're like, "What? Why do you like them? Oh, well, I like their uniforms, or
Hmm.
I like the way the stadium looks." I mean, and they could not care less about anything else in that area. I mean, it could be in the
Right.
middle of nowhere, or it could be in a metro, a big metropolitan place, um, a big city that they're not used to like living in because they're from a
Hmm.
small area normally. And it's funny how people, it tends to find you. Like, there's
Yeah.
things that happen in your life that, you come down, it comes down to like this point, and you go, all right, I'm going to base my decision on someone else's emotions, basically.
Oh yeah. Insane. I
Yeah.
liked both schools. There was like cool things about both. I like hadn't I wanted to go during softball season, so I went in the spring of that year
Yeah.
and because I never even been to a college football game. Like college football just wasn't really a big deal where I
Right.
was from. And I was like, I want to go see what I'm gonna do there. And so that's what I did. And I really Patrick Murphy over at Alabama and Coach Allie was still there. Like I really respected them and enjoyed the process with them. Like I have a lot of respect for Alabama's program. It just was like Florida felt right in a lot of ways, and then that was the thing that made me like feel like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you have to trust that
Hmm.
decision, and being indecisive, like you said. I mean, that's a big, you're talking about. I mean, you really didn't want to venture out and do your own thing just yet. And this is like the biggest commitment of your life. I
The
mean,
biggest. Yeah.
at,
As
at,
as a high
at this
schooler,
point,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
At this point in your life. And so it's like, you commit, and this is way before, and I don't really don't know if there's a whole lot of like transferring in softball like there is
Not as
in
much.
football. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's a little bit, it's a different vibe for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you need that chemistry more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of people that like if they get hurt or whatever, then there's an option to leave. But
Right.
you don't, this is way before that. This is way
Yeah.
before, you even got paid, like
Oh
they're
gosh,
getting paid
right?
now in endorsements and
Yeah.
it's, and
What a
so
time.
yeah, right. That would factor all these different
Mm-hmm.
emotions. And as of right now, these student athletes are coming up and they've got all these decisions to make and they're just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're ready for it, so
I will
that's
say,
adding on
like,
to it.
yeah, the thing that was cool about it that I look back and I'm like, man, how did I see that at 16? Like, how did I recognize that through the TV, I guess? Because I would say, like, in my experience with Coach Walton, his loyalty is one of the things that sticks out to me. Like through my
Right.
whole career. And then my freshman year, I struggled quite a bit. Like I did not play well. I was very homesick. It was like probably one of the lowest points of my life was my freshman year of college. And we can get into that if you want. But there was a game and a fan yelled at me. I must have like struck out with bases loaded, which already sucks. Like it's just not a good feeling. And if you've been to a game in Gainesville, you know the fans can be tough. They want to see a great game. And so a fan was yelling at me, I guess, and I was like, so I didn't even know what was going on half the time freshman year. And Coach Walton started yelling at this fan and totally had my back. I was like, I didn't even know what was going on. And just that he was like yelling, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did I do something? Like, I don't know. And he called me. I'm in my dorm. And again, that at that point, I didn't know him. Like we did not have the relationship that we would have had by the end of my career at that point. We were still learning each other. I was still trying to find my place on that team, my role. And, coach is a hard coach. Like he's a tough coach to play for because he's intense, he has high standards. All those things are awesome, but like in the day to day can be hard, especially when you're in a season of so much change in your life. And so there were days where I'm like, I don't even know if this is like the right fit. Like, what am I doing here? And it was like that moment he called me in my dorm and he's like, "Hey, I just want you to know, like, this is what happened. I don't want you to think I was upset with you. You should not have to deal with that. You're one of my players. I will always have your back." And so even in the thick of like feeling very lost, feel like very like, did I make the right decision in coming across the country? I saw a glimpse of the thing that wanted me to go there. And then fast forward, the rest of my career and coach's loyalty is one of the things that sticks out to me the most. And like to this day, I could call him for anything and I know he would help me. So seeing that at 16, like I think that's one of the coolest things about that whole process is like, man, something in me saw this thing that ended up being true
Right.
even now.
Right. And I think that also speaks a lot for you, you have a great judge of character because I mean
Thank you.
that's someone that you ended up being someone that was not only your coach but a
Mhm.
mentor and a
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
know I know it's different when you're there, but like I say friend
Hmm.
now because you can call up on him, and
Totally.
that's a friend when you can.
Hmm.
I mean, not many people have those kind of people in their life where they could call them up and say, "Hey, look, I've got this going on, and
Hmm.
I may need your help." And that person in your life like that is very valuable. I mean,
Yeah.
someone who will be all right. We all have one person, and not saying family
Right,
because it's
right.
different. Family's different. It's almost like an obligation you have to do.
Yeah.
You know what
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, but a friend you've got, and some may have more, and they're blessed. But
Hmm.
then normally you have that one friend that you go, "Hey, man," or "Hey, look, I I need your help." And they're
Yeah.
without any strings attached or anything else, they're there to
Hmm.
help, and it's an amazing feeling. But to have somebody like that in your life is, there's a lot of people that they would do pretty much anything to have that in their life.
Yeah.
Um,
No, very, very fortunate. Very fortunate.
so having him as a coach helped you, and like you said, when you went back, you're 16, you go back home, you go, you
Hmm.
know what, I think I made the right decision, and now you know you made the right decision.
Yeah.
And it would have been, I can't say what it would have been like if you would have went to Alabama, but
Right.
we just gave an example about the national championship,
Yeah.
and that didn't work out. But you know what I mean? Like you never know. You could have made it better for Alabama. Maybe they were missing you, or they were missing a piece, and you were able to
Right.
fill that. But that's devil's advocate. You're like, oh, what if I did this? And well, what if I had wings? I could fly. And
Right.
it's just, it doesn't
Totally.
doesn't matter now. It just
Yeah.
it's what you did, and even if you hadn't have won the national championships, I mean, it's still what you did. I mean, it was your
Hmm.
choice, and you can't, it's like, don't blame anybody else. That's where you wanted to go. That's
Right.
what you chose. And a lot of people, they don't see it like that sometimes. They want to go
Yeah.
to places and go, well, I went there for the jerseys, or I went
Hmm.
there because they're
I
in.
chose I chose Florida because I wanted to win a national championship. I realized later what I was getting in an education. Because again, I didn't grow up in Florida. I came out here and everyone like the way like because I'm in student ministry now, so they talk about the way they talk about Florida, I'm like, "Oh, whoa." Like it's a big deal like academically
Yep.
and um so I had no idea at the time. But I knew I wanted to win a national championship and I felt like I mean, I could have done that. I mean, the year before I went to college, Alabama won it. So I was like there was that feeling going into college of like, "Oh man, like
Well,
Alabama could have, so there's all
uh,
of those types of feelings about like you never know if it's truly the right choice, but at some point you just got to choose your choice and own it and really buy in. And
uh,
I'm so grateful because I mean, struggles, all the things, super like high highs, low lows when I was in college. But I really feel like I became the woman I was supposed to become there.
yeah.
With through the people I met there and I mean, it's easy to say like I wouldn't change a thing because we won two national championships, but
Yeah.
truly, I mean, I met my husband there. Like, there's so many things about my life now that go back to me choosing Florida when I was 16.
Well, before we get too far into Florida, I want to stick to California because I've
Yeah.
you're gonna be shocked, but I've never been there, so I have no idea what it's like. I
Oh,
mean, besides the cliche, I've seen it on movies and
yeah.
TV, and it's for someone who's never been anywhere, it's almost
Hmm.
like whatever you're talking about, like wherever you're gonna go, it seems like a mythical place. Like you're like, oh
Right.
yeah, and it never rains there, I know it rings. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
But like I used to work at Disney I was
Hmm.
there for 16 years and a half,
Oh,
16 and a
wow.
half. I've never been to Disneyland. I mean, that's the OG.
Hmm.
That's where it started.
Yeah. We
You
had
think I
passes. I grew up 10 minutes from there.
see? You think I could have made a trip out there, got in for
Yeah.
free, never went.
Hmm. Hmm.
But what was it like? What was it
Yeah.
like being in Cal? I mean, what was growing up in California like?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in like the suburbs of LA probably. Yeah, I was in between LA and San Diego are probably two of the bigger areas that have two very different feels. Um, so just kind of like suburban living. I lived with my grandparents. My parents got divorced when I was 4, and so we moved in with my grandparents. I grew up in the house that my mom grew up in, because my mom ended up buying the house from them when they decided to move to like more of a senior living situation.
Right.
And so from 4 to 18 until I left for college, I grew up in the same house. And
Wow.
so Brea, California is, I grew up in Brea and I went to Brea Linda High School and where my mom went to school, everything. So like being a Monroe where I grew up, like felt kind of special. At least to me, like
Yeah.
my grandpa was really involved in Parks and Rec and like softball community. Um, so, I mean, I grew up like 30, 40 minutes from the beach, an hour on a bad traffic day, that's the one, like traffic affects just about everything. And then, you could get to the mountains in an hour and a half. You could get to the river in 4 hours, 5 hours.
Oh wow.
So that's the one thing about California is you can do just about anything there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the beach, the mountains, the river. Um, you could get to Vegas in 3.5 hours from where I grew up, um, which is where my family ended up moving right outside of Vegas when I left for school. So we would
Oh
do that
cool.
drive back and forth quite a bit, when I would come home for college breaks. But yeah, it's can't beat the weather in California. I will take hot over cold any day, so I do not mind Florida, but there's like no humidity, so the weather is perfect.
Yeah.
When I go back to visit, I'm always like, oh, this is nice. But I love Florida now. I did not think I would stay here. Had I not met my husband, I probably would have gone back, but my husband's a Florida man through and through. So, it's if you were to go there, you would see some similarities. And then in other ways, it's like completely different than
Yeah.
Florida.
I was gonna say, now I have been to Vegas, so
Yes.
I got that
Yep.
close. I've been that
Hmm.
close.
Yep.
But I haven't. We did the whole. Got to go to the Hoover Dam, and we went
Yeah.
to was it Red Rock Canyon?
Hmm.
That was
Yeah. Oh, it's
uh
beautiful there.
yes, very very cool. Did all that stuff. It was really really cool. And I didn't mind Vegas. It was okay. I mean, I would
Hmm.
like to go back. It's not something that you do on the regular. Like it's not like I mean, there are people. Don't get me wrong. There's people gonna be like, "Oh, I love Vegas." That's not
Right.
what I'm saying. I'm saying
Yeah.
I just. It's not like, it's been I think 2021 we went, so it's like
Yeah.
it's post
Well,
COVID.
and it totally, and it's like growing up in California, Vegas is no big deal because you can get there in 3.5 hours from where I grew
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Flying across the country to go to Vegas, man, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
how often
Exactly.
are you gonna do that? It's like, say my grandpa was like loved Hawaii, and so flying to Hawaii from California is like flying from here to California. So if you want to go to, it's like a 10-hour flight. I'm like, golly, that's like going to Japan. Like, no thanks. So but my mind, like, I just grew up, like, people would go on vacation to Hawaii all the time because it was right there.
Yeah,
And versus over here, I mean, I know a lot of people that Hawaii is not on their radar because it's so dang far. I'm like, oh, right, duh, I'm way over here now.
yeah. We from what I've heard, we just go to the Bahamas. That's the
Yeah,
Eastern Hawaii.
absolutely. Yes. Yeah, we
um,
go down
I,
to the Keys now. I'm like,
yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, and the Keys. You know what? I'm a native Floridian. I was
Mhm.
born and raised here, and for 43 years, well, actually for 41 years, we honeymooned. We did a cruise, my wife and I, and one of the stops was Key West, and that was the first
Yeah.
time ever that I've been to Key West, and I
Wow.
loved it,
Yeah, very fun.
loved
We
it.
love it.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I want to go back.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about cruises is you don't have much time at the port.
Hmm.
I mean, people are going to go, "My God, you had 5 hours." I'm like, "Yeah, but you've never been there. That's like
Mm-mm.
going into a
It's not enough
store
time.
and they're about to close, and it's that yeah. All right, shoppers, we have 5 minutes,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
like,
Yeah. Right.
I want to see it
Yeah,
all.
totally. My husband's he's a charter captain, so the last 2 years we've taken a week in the summertime during lobster season and we just
Mm,
take the boat down. So we
gotcha.
have the boat, which is so fun. We usually hit up Marathon. So it's about halfway down, so you can do a day trip down to the Keys, or down to Key West, but it's a little more mild. So
Yeah.
we enjoy it down there.
My grandfather used to go down to the Keys, and he would go get the lobsters. And you
Yeah.
think of lobster, they're smaller. They're like little. They're not
Hmm.
like Maine lobsters. Where
They're not.
and we were just in Maine like maybe 2 months ago, and
Uh-huh.
I'd never been there. And I was telling somebody about we have lobsters in Florida, and they're like, "No, you don't."
Right. Very different
I'm like,
lobsters.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're more of a crustacean than
Yes. Right. Oh, I'm
Um,
sure the lobster people up in Maine have lots of opinions on our lobster down
oh,
here.
it's not even comparison. Like they have. Have you ever been to Maine?
No, I have not.
Oh, you go there. We went to Bar Harbor. You can fly
Hmm.
into Bangor, or I called it Bangor, and they all looked at me like, and I'm like, what? What? It's Bangor. I'm sorry.
Oh.
And so I was like, Bangor, Maine, and
Uh-huh.
it's a 45-minute drive from there to Bar Harbor, and we stayed outside of Bar Harbor, and uh, Bar Harbor's it's on an island, so you have
Oh,
to.
cool.
But it's beautiful. It's very it's all the wilderness. It's all these trees and cliffs and
Hmm.
mountains and but anyways, when we went there, it is like Bar Harbor is like a small version of like St. Augustine almost.
Oh.
It's like a fishing town. Yeah, like
Yeah.
all these towns on the coast, they all look
Uh-huh.
alike. If you ever notice, you go to St. Augustine, you go to Savannah, and you go to
Yeah.
Charleston. They all look alike. They have
Hmm.
different things that they've got, their little quirks or whatever you'd
Yeah.
say, but it's literally the same thing. It's not even. I mean, it's a fishing town, so they
Right.
all have that same vibe. I mean,
Yep.
now don't get me wrong, they all have their different things, but
Right.
like
Histories, all that
yeah,
type of stuff.
and Bar Harbor it's absolutely beautiful if you ever get a chance to go.
Cool.
But when you go there, there's two things on the side of the road you'll see. You'll see firewood because apparently it gets really cold up there. Even though I
Yeah.
mean I didn't we went in July, so it was like I don't know during the day it was like high of 85, and they're all like
Oh,
they're like over there like oh my gosh it's and I'm like really
this is great.
it's 110 at home, and
Yeah.
that and the wood and lobsters. They have a lobster.
Yeah.
They call them lobster pounds. Um, all over. I mean, they'll be on the side of the road. You pull up and literally they have all these tables in the back, and you order your lobster, and it's like an ice cream shop or something. You go
Yeah.
out there, and which they had ice cream too. They're very proud of
Lovely.
their blueberry that's in season up there.
Okay.
Blueberry ice cream, they love it up there.
Hmm.
But you go up there and they got tables in the back, and you sit there and you wear the bib.
Yeah.
They have a
No
hose.
way.
You got to hose the
That's awesome.
you got to hose
Yeah, I gotta get
hose your
up there.
family down. You get in the car. You're like, I got
Yeah.
butter everywhere. It's pretty great. But that's the
Wow.
East Coast. That's what I'm used to. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
it's Northeast, but I would love to go to California. We just never have been. But man, I
yeah,
can't. But it's a lot different. When you said no humidity, and
yeah.
you said hot over cold. I'm the complete opposite. I want cold
Um,
over hot because of the humidity. You can't get away from it. So I'm like,
no,
give me a nice cold, or even can we even have like seasons down here for crying out loud? I
I
mean,
know.
there's no
That is,
fall.
California doesn't really do seasons very well, but it's
True,
all mild. Everything's
true.
just mild. Like they'll have heat waves and stuff like that, but if it's 80 during the day, it's 60 at night. And so you
Yeah,
get those like cool evenings and that's I think if I miss anything, it's just that the weather is so perfect.
and I've heard that too, especially in San Diego. We've
Mhm.
had we've had some
Yeah.
people stay there or live. We had a few people live there from here and
Mhm.
then come back, and they were staying out there for quite a while. And like we
Yep.
had people in the Navy and stuff, but they uh
Yeah.
they were
Camp
quite
Pendleton.
proud of the weather out there. But
Hmm.
Maine, it was like I said, it was in the middle of July. We're in here, you know how it is in July at
Oh
night. It's
gosh.
it's so muggy, but up there we had a fire going.
Bugs.
Oh, but
Hmm.
we didn't see any bugs.
That sounds
No
wonderful.
bugs. It was great. I was like,
Yeah.
can we just switch the signs around and put Florida up here and Maine down here,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll keep it.
Yep.
You can have the lobsters. You can take the lobsters with you, but if that's all you're worried about. But
Yep. That's
so
funny.
so in high school, were you
Hmm.
you had to be a decent player. Were you playing in what do they call that? You're not like you're not professional, but a league, not league, but what's the
Oh, yeah,
travel
yeah.
team? You were a
Yeah, our
travel
travel
team
ball.
kid?
Yeah, our club
Travel.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, club.
So we're out in California, especially back then, like California was like the hotbed for softball. Our sport has grown so much over the last 15 years. Which 15 years ago is when I was getting recruited. Um, so
It's okay. It's okay.
which is crazy. But back then it was still like California was such a hotbed for softball. Because we can play year round with the weather and everything. And so I mean, coaches would come out to us all the time. But my high school team was not good. So like I played shortstop for my high school team
Oh
because
wow.
being behind the plate was like pointless. So I enjoyed my high school seasons primarily because I got to work on my like leadership. I got tons of at bats. And I kind of got to just like switch it up when playing shortstop. It was
Right.
kind of a nice break for me. But yeah, no, Coach Walton actually saw me play shortstop one time. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy recruited me as a catcher and he's out here because they play in that big tournament in Fullerton. huge college tournament and they would go out all the time. And that's like the town next to me where I grew up. And so he happened to like pop by my high school practice one time and I was like, this man is watching me play shortstop. Um, but yeah, it was funny. But I played for the SoCal Athletics. I essentially crashed a practice because I didn't know they were an invite-only team, and I showed up. Um, the one of the assistant coach knew a family friend of ours who we were kind of looking for a new team, right? Trying to level up in competition from what we were doing. And I got this like, yeah, yeah, you guys can come out kind of thing. And we show up and they just kind of like let us practice with them, me thinking it's a tryout. And they by the end of the practice, they're like gonna have some team meeting, and me and my mom are getting our stuff ready to go. And Bruce Richardson, the manager of the SoCal Athletics, comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, we're having a team meeting, and would you be interested in being on the team?" And I'm looking at my mom, and they were an intense team. My mom did not think I would want to stay. And I was like, this is great. Like, these are my people.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at my mom and she's like, well, it's up to you. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, but I gotta ask you guys, like, what are you doing here? And I'm mortified. I'm like 15 or 16. And I look at him and we're like, well, we're here for the tryout. He goes, we don't do tryouts. And I'm like,
Man.
I've been playing with you guys for the last 3 hours and this is not even a tryout. So they kept me kind of like a stray dog. And so that was like, and that was like a whole other world. Like I played for my parents growing up. Like we did rec ball, transitioned into travel ball. We took a weekend off every month. It was very low key. And then I was on a couple other teams that just like, I really just kind of gradually climbed the ladder. But from the team I had been on to this team, like this team had finished fifth at nationals the year before. Like I don't think we even went to nationals the year before. Like so this was a big jump for me.
Right.
I they kept me as the fourth catcher, which kind of seemed crazy at the time. Like how much am I gonna play? Um, but I liked the way they worked. Like they were intense, there was intention. There were other teams that were practicing like 6 hours on a Saturday.
Oh,
I was like, why? This team practiced for 3 hours, but it was an intense 3 hours. It was like get in, get your work, and get out, which I liked.
when it comes to building in Sumter County, experience matters. From remodels, barns, additions, and accessory buildings to creating the custom home of your dreams, our Hogan Construction delivers quality you can trust. Russell is hands-on and on-site daily, going above and beyond to ensure the project isn't just completed, but crafted to perfection. He doesn't just meet expectations, he exceeds them. For a builder who puts integrity and craftsmanship first, call R. Hogan Construction today at 352-793-7660. Russell Hogan Construction. Built on tradition, built to last. Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, serving the Lake Pennsauken and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 33 years, we have strived to serve great food at great prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our burgers or wings are the best around. We have daily specials too. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Duto Realty is a homegrown business with an eye for getting the job done right. From football games to Sunday school and everything in between, these ladies care about our community and the people in it. Helping buyers and sellers in all of Florida with all types of transactions, including residential, commercial, farm, or vacant land. They do it all. They even offer auction services and sellouts to always get the job done right. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck, the delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck. Whether your water is supplied by a public municipality or a private well, for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing ware. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kingston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store. Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Penosofsky's newest tap room, offering 14 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beers, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to come hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app.
And yeah, so that's kind of how I ended up on the SoCal Athletics. And then, one girl I think left that year who was a catcher. So then we were down to 3 catchers. And I found myself catching in the championship game at PGF Nationals. And first time they had a game on TV, and I'm playing on TV at 16, finding myself in this game that I'm like, I have never even been to ASA Nationals, and I'm playing in the championship game here. Like, what the world? Just crazy. And I didn't even really play that great, like all things considered. It was very clear, like the whole act like you've been there thing. Like I had never been there, and I was like, whoa. But yeah, we won, and I tell you what, I got a taste of winning on that team, and it was like, this is too good. Like, I love this. And I had made really good friends. They had called me walk on behind my back for the first couple months because they were like, who is this girl? And then by the end of the year, I'm like a part of the core of this team. And that's kind of been like the recurring story of my life, is that I end up on a team kind of as this underdog, like, how did I get here feeling? And then I slowly but surely become a part of the core, and experience a lot of success. And so we would go on the SoCal Athletics. We won PGF 3 years in a row. And so I just learned how to win on that team. And it was so fun. Like, I really started to love, like, I always loved competing. Mm-hmm. I loved playing. Like, I'm actually a really horrible sports fan because I don't have like skin in the game, Yeah. Right. Like, I'm a pop culture sports fan. I just want to be able to like watch the highlights so that I can have a conversation about it and not kind of sound dumb. Right. But I am not like a super fan of anything except the Gators and Seattle U because my sisters play there. And then like if I have friends coaching or stuff like that, but like I'm a bad fan. But it's because I loved playing. I loved competing. I loved feeling the game. Right. And I feel like with the SoCal Athletics, like I learned how to like love competing at a high level.
Right. Well, I think that brought out the best in you because you didn't know you had a competitive nature inside. And from what I've heard, a little birdie told me on those teams, the national championship teams, it was pretty intense as well as far as the competitiveness and trying to outdo one another. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't sound like it started then. It started as you're talking at when you were 16 years old as a walk on. So, I mean, but you know what? People, things happen to people for a reason, and I think that was what it was. It was meant to be. Otherwise, you probably would have been just ran off. I mean, they'd have been like, I'm so sorry. We're this is a closed practice or tryout or whatever you want to say. But you were meant to do that, and I think the opportunity presented itself, and of course it helped that you didn't know that too, because
totally.
you probably wouldn't have done as. I mean, would you have done as
No.
well?
Oh,
Right.
I would have been mortified. I
Right.
mean, I had been to other tryouts. This was like my last ditch effort too. Like I had a
Right.
backup plan
Right.
that felt more like a lateral move than a step up. But I was like, okay, I know I'll have a place to
Right.
go. But this was like my last shot. I had been to a couple tryouts and they just didn't need another catcher. Like it wasn't personal, it wasn't mean.
Yeah.
They just had their catchers. And so I went into this like I've got nothing to lose.
Yep.
But had I known what they were thinking, I would have been like, oh, I need to leave. Mom, let's go home. And I would have missed out on like the rest of my softball journey ultimately.
And I think everybody needs to when they are going into something that's new to them, they need to go in there with that same attitude, like I've got nothing to lose.
Mhm.
And if you do that, people like it worked for me. Like if I was, I'll give you a quick example. Uh, I was a friend of mine said, "Hey, I want to go to Universal Studios, and they have the Mardi Gras the nights,
Oh,
whatever."
okay.
And she's like, "Hey, I want to go to the audition." Because we were in entertainment at Disney, and so you
Oh,
hear
cool.
people work at both places, and so or they try,
Yeah.
to make extra hours because they could stay later at the night, whatever. So she's like, I need to go to this audition. It's a big cattle call audition, but I want to go by myself. And I'm like, I don't want to go with you. Like, I can't dance. I can't do any. I mean, I'm not. That's not me. Okay.
Right.
So she's like, just go with me, and I'm like, all right,
Mhm.
whatever. I did the same audition everybody else did. I got the part and she didn't.
No way.
I got a job she did not, and I felt horrible because
Oh,
I didn't want
wow.
to be there. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
if I would have stayed with my my way,
Yeah.
I would never have known that. But I got the
Yeah.
job, and for one Mardi Gras year, I was dressed like a 1920s director, like the
Oh, yeah,
Hollywood.
yeah.
They had the megaphone. I'm sure from Universal over in California. They have
Yeah.
all that history. What I was, but I had these huge like these pants. I had hips that looked like I was much bigger. I had like
That's
more
funny.
junk in the
Yeah,
trunk
yeah.
than I actually did. And but it was amazing. It was the best thing I could have done, and I didn't want to do it.
Cool.
I did not
Right.
want to do it, and I felt horrible afterwards. I was like, I didn't, and I didn't even know how to be after that for
Yeah.
a while. Around her, I was like, like every time I see her, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I know.
Totally.
Do you want to just go in for me? But it was a mail
Right.
roll, so she couldn't. But I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't even think. But it just so happened that
Yep.
sometimes when you think that
Opportunity knocks.
that's right, that's right,
Yeah.
and you never know. You just never know when it's going to be an opportunity presents itself, and you just got to go with it. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that go like just like I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm glad it worked out because it was a cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have been just fine if it didn't. I mean,
Right.
whatever. But it also taught me something that day. Like, look, don't ever, if something like that happens, at least just go with it. You
Right.
know,
Totally.
give it everything you got.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, if you have nothing to lose, that's the best thing you can do right there
Yeah. Yeah.
is you have no skin in the game, you said,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when you do make it to Florida,
Mm-hmm.
what was your first, like, what were some of the things that you noticed right away that you're like, you know what, I could like this place, like this looks
Yeah.
like, I mean, besides you've already said the scenery and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
what happened or something that made you feel more comfortable than ever?
Well, my class, we had so much fun. I mean, I was with Kirsty Merritt, Kelsey Stewart, Taylor Fuller, and Taylor Schwartz, who we came in. There had been a little bit of turnover the year before, so there's a lot of open spots.
Right.
And we were just really hungry. Like it was like we all had drank the same Kool-Aid on like we're coming to Florida and it's gonna be awesome and we're gonna kick butt on the softball field. Like it was like we all came in kind of that way, even though we all had different expectations probably for our personal roles on the team.
Right. Right.
But it was like all of us had drank the Florida softball Kool-Aid where we're like, this is Florida softball, this is what we do
Right.
kind of mentality.
Right.
Which was fun. And then we ended up just having a lot of fun together. We got real close pretty quickly through orientation and all that stuff. So I think my class was a lot of fun. And then we had a very small team that year. We only had, by the time spring came around, we had 16.
Okay.
And so for a college team that's usually running 20 to 25, that was a small team.
Right.
And so we got really close as a team that year. I'll be honest, my fall was like really kind of like, okay, I'm here, I'm in college. Like I was really probably hyper focused on softball.
Mhm.
So I was like, I came here to play softball. So the fall not being our like season was kind of like, okay, I'm going to football games. This is fun. I remember feeling like, whoa, like SEC football, this is something different. I
Yeah.
had never experienced that. And so just that environment of like tailgating and, Saturdays in the swamp, like that was just really fun. But I didn't really settle in until like, or feel like I was like really home until the spring. And then I actually struggled quite a bit because I wasn't playing well and like just I couldn't like figure it out softball wise for until probably like halfway through the season.
Right.
Just really frustrated with myself, but we were winning. I mean, we on paper my freshman year, we were picked seventh for the SEC and like just we're not like very low expectations. We ended up winning the SEC like barely, but we won the SEC and then we won the SEC tournament. So our team was having a lot of success. We had so many extra inning games. Oh my gosh. It was crazy that year. Um, but yeah, we made it to the World Series and so it was like my freshman year was like this weird contrast of like
Right.
personally struggling, but our team outperforming what was expected of us. And as a competitor, like I was raised to be a team player. So it was like weird to hold both, I think. Like on a personal level, I'm really struggling like with my identity and, who am I? Why, like who am I when I'm not good at softball, stuff like that. And then also like this is crazy. Like the intensity every weekend matters in the SEC. And I remember that part feeling like, oh my gosh, this is what I came here to do. This is so exciting. Like this is what I came to be a part of. But then also simultaneously being like, why do I suck at softball now? So kind of holding both. And my class was killing it. Like
Yeah.
our first weekend out, we played in Arizona. First day we're ever wearing a Gator uniform. We're just like little baby Gators, so excited. And Kelsey leads off as a freshman, leads off with a triple. We're like, cool. Kirsty was probably, I don't know if she was hitting second yet, but she was up in the lineup and she like gets a double or something. Taylor Fuller, same thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, our class is killing it. We're gonna be so good.
Yeah.
So I think there was just a lot of that stuff that was really fun. And I enjoyed being on campus, like living in a dorm and just like experiencing that level of independence was very fun.
Right.
Even when it was hard. Um, yeah, it was. I like Gainesville is such a like sweet place for me. It's like my first home in Florida, really.
Right.
So I love Gainesville.
Yeah, I call it the big G.
Yeah.
I my uncle used to call it that when we go to Gator games back when Danny Warfel played back in the day.
Yeah.
He'd take me. I was in middle school, like my middle school days.
The good
The
days for
first the
Florida.
first championship. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's a very special place.
Hmm.
A lot of people, they don't know a lot about Florida. They just go, oh, I hate the Gators, or
Right.
I mean, there's always places like
Yeah.
I'm sure Florida State has a great campus. I'm not
Yeah.
knocking them, but We don't like the Seminoles, and we don't.
No.
Miami has a beautiful campus.
Right.
But it's just different.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go there, and we talked about this earlier. How hard it is to get into Florida. I mean, academically, they just don't let anybody. I mean, that just applies. I mean, it's kind of it's a big deal if you get accepted. I mean, it's an honor. It's almost like a sorority or it's some kind of something like that where you get it's an
There's
honor
a network.
to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Right.
a
Right.
network
Right.
to it that is,
Right.
because I work for my church now. And so we get people who come and they're like, yeah, I went to Florida. I'm like, oh, what year? And, they'll be like 82. And I'm like, I'm class of 2016. Like, little things like that you're
Yeah.
like, it's just cool, And I mean, other universities are like that, but living in Florida
Yeah.
and getting to see that is fun. So.
I think as long as you go to a college and that's what you want to do, I mean, it doesn't matter where you go.
Right.
There's a lot of people that they think if they go to a big university, they're going to get noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard Brett Favre say this a time ago. It said, if it doesn't matter if you go to Slippery Rock University or whatever, it doesn't matter, and you're good, they're going to find you.
Totally.
So I mean, it speaks for any other sport. If you're good, people are going to talk. Now it's even better because of all the social media. Can you imagine having that when you were in high school? Right.
Oh my
as a tool. I mean, I know what Facebook was out then, probably, right?
Yeah. Instagram
but it wasn't like
came out
it was
my
now.
senior year of high school.
Okay.
And so Twitter had been out for a few years.
Right. But it wasn't like it is now.
It was not a tool. It was just like a keyboard warrior place.
Yeah. Can you imagine having a TikTok back in high school where you could share your highlights or all these videos that these young student athletes are putting on there now? I mean, it's such a great thing for them. Yeah. And it's one of those things where the older classes are like, oh my gosh, like I had one of my friends played. He was a quarterback, and he's like, yeah, I remember taking one of my highlights. It was on a VHS tape, right? And I'm like half these people don't even know what a VHS
things, yeah.
Yes, had to mail it, yes. And then that turned into DVDs, and then it was like, hey, all they got to do now is go on Twitter or TikTok, and they can say, oh look, oh wow, that guy, that girl's pretty good. So
tag your coaches, send them to your YouTube channel,
tag the university, tag every. I mean, all the. I try to keep up with all that. I can't.
No.
It's so
hard. I told you I'm a bad sports fan. I'm like, that's not even fun.
Yeah, I mean, you try to. I don't know how these people do it. I try to put my stuff out, the stuff for the show, and it's absolutely like I'm doing the best I can. I got a full-time job. This is not my job. I love it. I love this so much. I love doing it, but I wish that this would be something I could do every day. Have somebody to talk to. This would be right up my alley. Yeah. But trying to promote that, I'm a self-promoter. I as well as anybody that how many times I've had, I have to almost, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but hunt someone down.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I just wish I had somebody that would do that for me. My wife said she would do it, but I'm not going to give that to her because it would drive her crazy. I mean, she's got a job too. So
it's so true.
I think it's going to a bigger university like this has its advantages. A lot of people say, you get kind of, lost in the shuffle because when you go to a bigger university, there's not that special small, like, if you go to a smaller school, you have that one-on-one per se, in class or whatever, but it's just different, how people, I don't know. UF's a special place. I'll say that it's hard, even when the Gators are not doing well, which is kind of relevant right now.
Yeah,
it's so up and down and ebbs and flow that I can't help but I still love them, man. I can't.
All kinds of weather, man. All kinds of weather.
Right. And it comes and go. And it's not. Look, if we want to, if we won a championship every year, it would be great. But eventually, I mean, what there wouldn't be anything worth playing for
I
because like,
know.
oh, we're gonna win again. You
Yeah.
have to
I
have that
mean, we're
thing in your
still in
life.
everything school. We are in everything school. So
Yes,
stand by
absolutely.
that.
We have a championship in every sport, I believe.
Hmm.
So um, it's amazing. It's a great place.
Hmm.
Um, but you discussed your freshman year,
Yeah.
and so I know your sophomore year because I got it all twisted up when I was talking to Kirsty because I was like mixing years up. But
Oh, yeah.
your sophomore year is when you won the first
Hmm.
national championship.
Yep.
So what was that like? I asked Kirsty the same thing. Like, what was it like going to? I mean, you guys didn't win the SEC that year, right?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Okay, so I was telling Kirsty, I'm like, I loved it when you didn't win the SEC because then we won a national
I know,
championship,
right?
and the year
Yeah.
before you win the SEC and we don't win the
Hmm.
World Series.
Yeah.
So
In
what was?
2015, we won both,
Oh,
but
that's right, you did. Okay,
yeah. But
so
in 14, we did not. No.
okay, so that's how I felt. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, and then finally
Oh, we all felt
redemption.
that way. We're like, okay, like if this is how it's gonna go, we might take it.
Right? As long as we get invited to the dance, I don't care how you
Yeah,
get there. Just remember who took you to the dance. That's all it is.
exactly.
But going to the dance to the to
Hmm.
the World Series, what was that like your first time? I know you guys went in your freshman year,
Hmm.
but it was different the second
Yeah,
time
we
around,
just
right?
yeah, we had a really young team. I mean, my freshman year, we only had three returners who had been to the World Series. And again, like people discount that been there before
Right,
feeling. And it wasn't like it is now, but it was a big crowd back then, even still. And so
right,
you're playing on that big stage, it's loud, these games are the biggest games of your life up to that point. And my freshman year, we just didn't play great. Like
yeah,
we went to Tennessee and or we played Tennessee to open it up, who we had beat like barely. I think we had two extra inning games in our regular season series with them. And we had our worst loss of the year, first game at the World Series.
wow,
So like there were some jitters,
yeah,
there were some nerves. Um, and then we played the 15 inning game against Nebraska that year. And then we were just toast. We played Texas the next day and they had Blair Luna, I think her name was, and she just she was so good and we were exhausted and
yeah,
so we went three and out and then we come back. Our theme for our sophomore year was unfinished business. And that's how we approached the whole year of
right,
like, there's unfinished business. Like we went last year, awesome, that's great. We got experience, but like going isn't enough. Like we came here to win.
right,
And so yeah, I'd made a lot of personal changes after my freshman year. Like the like offensively, I needed to get better. My offense had kept me out of lineup my freshman year. And so I made a lot of changes. I got more serious about my workouts. So I was fighting for my spot in the lineup consistently. And I felt like I had really earned it again. And I was really proud of myself. And so going to the World Series, being able to catch all through postseason, because as a catcher, you're a little bit more in a rotation than maybe some other positions. At least we were. And I think in the long run, that actually was good for us longevity wise. Like we weren't absolutely gassed by the end of the
right,
season. Because it was me and Taylor Fuller, and who is a phenomenal hitter, a total bulldog, like just gritty player.
right,
So we rotated quite a bit, especially that year. And then through postseason, I caught almost every game in postseason, and I just felt myself like finding my stride, um, which felt really good, honestly, after struggling the year before. And so we came out to make a statement, and I think we run rolled Baylor to start it, and just like never looked back. And playing Alabama in the championship series, I hit a home run in the first game, to get us on the board, which was like, I mean, a dream come true because they bring the ball to your parents. Like that was just my defense is what has gotten me as far as I went in the game.
hmm
1,000%. My defense, my ability to work with pitchers, my leadership on the field, my offense has been like the thing that I've been dragging along my whole career, you know? Like I have my moments, but it was always a fight for consistency. And so I worked really hard on that year. And so to have that kind of payoff at the World Series like, what? How does this happen? It felt like. So yeah, and then we won it in two. And second in SEC history, first for our school. Um, gosh, it just felt really good. Like
Yeah.
that's what I came here to do. And we were so fortunate to get just special teams. Hannah Rogers was catching her on that run was so fun. She was on a mission and just like, because she's very stoic. And so getting to like work with her through all of that was just really fun from a catching perspective. Um, yeah, it was just an awesome ride. Do you mind? I'm gonna turn on a light in here.
Sure.
It's storming here, so it's just getting
Sure.
dark. Hang on.
No worries. No worries. So do you think who was your favorite? Who's your favorite pitcher to catch for?
That is so hard. I get asked that question all the time.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
No, it's fine. They were just also different. And they had different tools. Like Hannah was stoic, had a disgusting drop ball, and was an incredible fielding pitcher, and just had this like she was one of the hardest workers I've ever known. Um, so that was just like unique. And then we had Lauren, who took us kind of on the run that year, who is a freak. Like Lauren Hager, the stuff she can do. She's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame in a couple weeks. Super excited for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hannah got inducted last year. Just so fun. Like it brings all these memories back from that time. And it was just like, what a ride. But Lauren is just a freak athlete. Like the stuff she could do with the ball with like she was trying, but like in a seemingly effortless way. She was a power pitcher and then she could hit like crazy and she had high energy. She was like the high energy pitcher who like we fed off each other that way.
Right.
And then Delaney Gorley. Delaney Gorley is always in my top 5 because we played high school together. She was on that SoCal Athletics team for my junior and senior year of high school.
Okay.
So I caught her with SoCal Athletics. I caught her for 3 years at Florida, and then we had a couple years on Team USA together.
That's so cool.
Just getting that experience with her on every level, we were like we were very good friends. When like just through that from growing up together.
Right.
She had a disgusting changeup. It was so good. Like, I mean, I would be calling pitches for her sometimes and we would go 3 in a row and she would be like waiting. I'm smiling at her like, yeah, we're doing it again. And they're like stupid. Just like so fun. I mean, and then you think about like, these are the pitchers I got to work with. I mean, there was probably like, I think only one other girl who was not an All-American. Hannah Rogers, Lauren Hager, Delaney Gorley, Alicia Ocasio, and Kelly Barnhill.
Those are, I mean,
all All-Americans.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, what? There are catchers who dream of catching one of them, and I'm like, I got them all.
Right.
They're like, I got to like just collect them.
I'm gonna put you on the spot again. Who threw the hardest? Was that Lauren?
Out of all of them, Lauren for sure.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Kelly would be up there. Kelly threw really hard.
Yeah.
I don't know, like miles per hour. I'm not sure because I think Kelly threw a little bit of a heavier ball.
Like when you caught it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be between her and Lauren. Kelly may have hit a higher miles per hour, like on occasion. But they both were power pitchers.
That's awesome. Thanks for watching part 1 of this 2-part podcast. Check out full episodes on YouTube and Spotify.